Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, loved ones, friends, family, those that have traveled near and far. Welcome to the spectacular Thyme Gardens. We're here to celebrate the marriage of Victoria and Ben, and they feel so blessed to have you all here to join in the celebration. To introduce myself, I'm Trent. It's with great privilege and honor to be standing before you all, and most importantly, this lovely couple. While I might not be their oldest friend, I can confidently say that since I'm trusted with this microphone, I'm their favorite friend, and the feelings are definitely mutual. Many years ago, I was introduced to an overly enthusiastic lover of bikes, Ben. He possesses this dogged, focused enthusiasm that is absolutely infectious. And it was never about him. He wanted you to succeed in whatever it was that you were doing, usually involving two wheels. Another thing about Ben, and I'm sure it's no secret to anyone here, Ben is a talker. For those of you that are not cyclists, if you're sitting next to someone wearing nothing but spandex for many hours on end, you learn a lot about that person. So naturally, it wasn't long before the topic of Victoria came up, and it was immediately clear that if there was anything in the world that he cared for more than riding bikes, it was Victoria. And upon meeting Victoria, it was clear to see why. In many ways, Victoria and Ben are similar. Victoria is also a talker, but always with the genuine sincerity and earnestness. She possesses this unique duality of being both incredibly fierce and graciously humble at the same moment. When you bring together a Ben and a Victoria, they possess a sort of fusion that propels them constantly forward. They complement and challenge each other to be their best selves. And it has been a joy for my wife and I to witness their growth toward today, to this union, to this life and future together. When some people fall in love, they say, fell in love at first sight. For Ben and Victoria, it was more like love, but first bikes. And it was the bicycle that set them on the course to each other. The way Ben retells the story, he, newly minted cycling captain, he receives an email from a young female athlete who's interested in joining the team. For a cycling team, a female cyclist, they're incredibly rare, especially one that he would soon learn be as talented and determined as Victoria. But for the sake of the team, for his role, he had to absolutely remain professional. Through the perspective of an outside observer, it seemed rather a dedicated and attentive level of professionalism. And it was definitely the signs of an early onset affliction. My mom would call it the hots. And I can confirm from many anonymous sources present at the time, Benjamin definitely had the hots from Victoria very, very early on. They started riding bikes together. Ben, always eager and encouraging. Victoria, always up for new challenges and adventures. This was the spark of the synergy between them that continues to grow on and off the bike. He would maintain this tenuous formality up until Victoria finally took the lead and went after what she wanted and asked him to coffee, and they would have their first date. This was exactly the moment, and it was clear for Ben and Victoria that these early days were so precious and exciting for both of them. When talking about it, even now, they still reflect on these precious moments with overwhelming joy. And their relationship memory is absolutely encyclopedic, listing off each ride, each date, each vivid, happy memory in such detail. Not only were they able to reproduce the original email that Victoria sent OSU Cycling, but recreate in detail the time that Ben asked her over to make bread. Well played, domestic card. And how that bread making took about 9 hours. I don't know what kind of bread you were making. That's absurd. But it's when the time seems to melt away. That's an undeniable sign of true love. Love that is precious and that should be celebrated, which is exactly why we are all gathered here in this beautiful garden to take part in the matrimony of Victoria and Ben. A marriage is a voluntary and full commitment to each other. It is the deepest connection that two humans can make to each other, and it's entered into the utmost desire and hope that will last a lifetime. While this is true, there's so much more to a marriage. Marriage is a partnership filled with laughter and happiness. Marriage is spending even the most mundane moments together, like emptying the dishwasher or sorting the recycling. Taking those moments, adding a bit of joy rather than doing it alone. And that you wouldn't have it any other way than by the side of your best friend, your person, your husband, your wife. Marriage is making life decisions together, like moving to a new city, buying a home. And the best marriages are based on such an understanding that one another, that sometimes you feel that mind reading must be real because your spouse knows exactly what's going on in your head. Marriage is finding that someone you want to see and be with all the time and who is truly your best friend. For most of you, it will come as no surprise that Victoria and Ben are competitive people, competitive and passionate people. They have weathered the trials and challenges of physical endeavors like bike racing, and sometimes that I know they will continue to do over and over again. That is who they are. They are the conquerors of challenges. And in many ways, bike racing is a perfect analogy for relationship and marriage. You arrive at the race, and it's the part you hate. Your nerves are firing at the start. The air is cold, and it steals your breath. The journey ahead, uncertain. But you can take relief knowing that you've done the preparation. You've committed to the moment. Such is true with dating. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable with a person you just met can be terrifying, but you have to trust in yourself, trust in your heart. You will keep going, you will put it all on the line, and then snap, the race begins. The peloton sets off, your heart is pounding together, and you're ready to take on the challenges just down the road. Things are moving faster now, the momentum building. Your courses become the same. You travel together, you go on adventures, you meet the parents. The risks here are also greater. You simply don't return to the beginning and try again. You crash. You risk being hurt deeply, hurt to your core. For the right relationship, this thought never crossed your mind. Your cadence is matched, and you're on a joyous flight. But the race is not done. What really defines a person, a couple, in a race is the finish. It is late in the day and the aches and the pains begin to emerge. You will endure hardships and struggles. It can be immense gravity to overcome that hill, that adversity, but only together do you persist. With determination and commitment, you are stronger together than the sum of your parts. In your mind, you can see the finish line and have the will to power through. You're no longer individual contestants, but a united force. Then, you finally, at long last, arrive to the finish line, which is where we find ourselves at this very moment of your engagement. Now it's the bride and groom's time to participate. A marriage is a voluntary and full commitment to each other. It is made with the deepest connection that two humans can make to each other. And before you can declare your vows, I want to hear you confirm that it is indeed your intention to be married today. Victoria, do you come here freely, without reservation, to give yourself to Ben in marriage, to take him as your lawfully wedded husband? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
And Ben, do you come here freely, without reservation, to give yourself to Victoria in marriage, and take her as your lawfully wedded wife? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Victoria and Ben, having heard that it is your intention to wed, you may now say your vows. Victoria?
Okay, I didn't practice as much as Ben did, so. Okay, so. 7 years ago, I sat in the attic of my aunt and uncle's house in the Netherlands, getting ready to travel back home and get ready for my freshman year at OSU. I was looking for a way to make friends, and so I emailed the OSU cycling team telling them that I love biking and I'm very interested in joining the cycling club. My email was received by none other than the new captain, Ben Tankus, and he responded very professionally with all the relevant information. And when I got back to Corvallis, he invited me on a group ride. There was one other person, where he came prepared, wearing basketball shorts and a t-shirt, just to make sure that I would feel welcomed, because he knew I wasn't equipped with a kit and a road bike and road shoes. The next week, you asked me if I wanted to try a longer ride. And the following weekend, you said, hey, I have an extra bike that will fit you. Do you want to go on a longer ride and try that? The following weekend, you let me cleats, and eventually you got me some hand-me-down kit, and my entire first term at OSU riding was all possible because of you and everything that you did. And you kept encouraging me to ride and encouraged me to get involved with a team. Your ability to encourage others is one of the things I love most about you. Every day you encourage me to follow my dreams and be the best version of myself and to love myself. And this year has certainly been a rough one, with you working full-time and part-time grad school, and me full-time grad school and working part-time. We moved to a new city, we got married, we bought a house, and it felt like we really became adults. But through all that chaos, I was reminded of how much you truly love me as you supported me through every single moment. When Trent gave us the homework of thinking about what we love about one another, that story was one of the first examples that came to mind, because for me it illustrates how genuine a person you are. You are and always will be true to who you are, and you will always encourage me to be genuinely me as well. And that is one of the other things I love about you and us. We have had the capacity to grow together, taking care of ourselves as individuals and following our own personal dreams and passions, while also following our collective dreams and passions. Because rather than make sacrifices, we've created solutions that allow us to prioritize each other as individuals and as a couple. Nothing seems scary when we do it together, and I know that we will continue with our journey that is our life, and we'll continue to grow together. Yes, we will have ups and downs, but together we will face those obstacles. A few days ago, I was sitting in the living room with my abuelo, and I told him that I was telling him that I was writing my vows. And I told him that I was struggling because I realized through this process that I'm not a very romantic person. So he told me that he loved romantic songs, and he used to listen to them when he was young, and I asked him, which ones? And he asked me to play one called Mi Linda Esposa, which means my beautiful wife. He got emotional, and my aunt asked him what's wrong. And he said that he was remembering his wife, my grandmother, who's no longer with us. He cried, and I cried, and the song ended, and I told him that I hope that you and I, Ben, have as long and a loving life as that he had with my grandmother, and I know we will. So, in preparation for this long life we're signing up for, I promise to love you. I promise to encourage you as much as you encourage me, to continue to prioritize ourselves as individuals so that we can prioritize ourselves as a couple, and to keep following my dreams and supporting you as you follow yours. Thank you, Ben, for not ignoring that email that I sent to the OSU cycling team so long ago and becoming my better other half.
Hello. I think you're great. There's more. We have been together 7 years, and looking back, I only remember a string of happy memories. I remember in the first 6 months of dating, telling my friends about how I was going to propose to you. And then 6.5 years later, I will always remember when I finally did. I remember all of our adventures. I remember our time racing across the Pacific Northwest. I remember living with roommates and family for 3 years before getting our own apartment together. 4 years later, we found our way to Seattle, buying our first home, and finally putting down our roots. I look forward to spending my life with you. I look forward to traveling to Europe, to Mexico, to Holland, and anywhere else with you. I look forward to all the time we will spend perfecting our homes and eventually when we have children together. I look forward to living with our little roommates again. Life is not without challenges. Not everything goes perfectly as planned. And even though priorities, checklists, and goals may change, know that the only thing at the top of my list every time is you. I promise to listen, to be patient, and to keep challenging myself every day, knowing that I have your love and support. I promise that I will always love you and always remember what makes us good, so together we can overcome any and all obstacles. I look forward to waking up next to you, overcome with joy every morning that I get to see your face. Knowing that our life together is just getting started, and I look forward to the magic that is to come. That is to come, please. Victoria, I love you.
Okay, I think he has more things to say.
Okay, the fun part. Your wedding rings are the outward, visible sign of the inward and invisible bond that already unites your hearts in love. Ben, please place the ring on Victoria's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
Wear it with love and joy,
Wear it with love and joy.
as this ring has no end.
As this ring has no end,
My love is also forever.
my love is also forever.
Victoria, please place on Ben's finger and repeat after me.
Oh, sorry, wrong hand. Okay, got it.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I marry you.
I marry you.
Wear this ring forever
Wear this ring forever
as a symbol of my love.
as a symbol of my love.
May these wedding rings you exchange today remind you that you are always surrounded by enduring love for each other and from each other. You may now kiss the bride. May I present to you husband and wife, Ben and Victoria.
So me matter of time before